If you're running a Shopify store, you know that gut-wrenching feeling when a customer gets so close to buying and then just disappears. Well, today we're diving into the one feature designed to stop that from happening, Shopify's accelerated checkout. So let's just jump right into the big question, the one that probably keeps you up at night. You've done everything right. They love your product, they've added it to their cart, and then, poof, they're gone. Why? 9 times out of 10, the culprit is a single word: friction.
You know, this whole problem actually has a name. It's called the checkout drop-off. And we're going to take a quick look at why this tiny little hurdle can be an absolute conversion killer for your store.
I mean, think about it. In the world we live in now, speed is everything. We expect things to be fast, easy, and totally seamless. Every single extra field a customer has to fill out, every extra page that has to load, that's another opportunity for them to get distracted, get frustrated, and just click away.
So what's the solution? How do you get rid of all that friction? Well, Shopify's answer is actually pretty elegant and incredibly powerful. It all comes down to their accelerated checkout buttons.
So what are these things exactly? The best way to think of them is like an express lane for your online store. Instead of that classic multi-step dance of add to cart, view cart, proceed to checkout, these buttons let a buyer leap straight from the product page right to the payment. It just slashes the time it takes to make a purchase. Okay, that sounds amazing in theory, but how does it actually work? Let's peel back the curtain a little and look at the mechanics that make this whole thing possible. So the first thing you need to know is that there are actually 2 different kinds of buttons. On one side, you have what's called the unbranded button. This one's pretty simple. It just says buy it now and zips the customer to your regular Shopify checkout page. But then on the other side, you have the branded buttons. And these are the ones you probably recognize. Think Shop Pay, Apple Pay, PayPal. When a customer clicks one of those, they complete the entire purchase right inside that familiar, trusted system, usually with all their info pre-filled. It's so smooth. And here's where it gets really smart. These aren't just static buttons that everyone sees. No way. The system is intelligent. It's actually analyzing a bunch of different factors in real time to show the most convenient, most relevant payment option for each individual person visiting your site. It's like a personalized checkout experience, created on the fly. So how does it decide what to show? Well, it's looking at a few key things. First, of course, are your store's own payment settings. But then it gets personal. It checks the customer's browser, so if someone's on an iPhone using Safari, you can bet they're going to see that Apple Pay button. It looks at their device, and it even looks at their personal payment history. And if you're using a cool feature like Shop Promise to guarantee fast delivery, the system is smart enough to prioritize showing the Shop Pay button. It's all about putting the path of least resistance right in front of them. And the options available are basically the A-list of payment providers. We're talking Amazon Pay, Apple Pay, Google Pay, PayPal, the big ones. Seeing a familiar logo like that isn't just about making things easy. It's an instant trust signal. It tells the customer, hey, this is a legit, secure place to buy, and that confidence is priceless. Now, as great as all this sounds, it's not a magic bullet that's perfect for every single scenario. So to give you the full picture, let's take a really honest look at both the huge advantages and some of the potential limitations you've got to be aware of. The upside is, well, it's pretty huge. You're creating a dramatically faster checkout process, which almost always leads to better conversion rates. It's just simple math. For your returning customers, it's a dream come true because all their info is saved. And like we just said, showing those trusted, familiar payment brands builds instant credibility. It's a win-win-win. Okay, but on the flip side, let's talk about the fine print. There are a few things to consider. First, these buttons can sometimes have compatibility issues with other apps, especially things like currency converters. They also don't support special cart attributes, so if you offer things like gift wrapping or custom delivery dates, those won't work. And maybe most importantly, there's a really specific limitation on how they handle products with different options or variants. And this is the key thing to remember right here. Shopify puts it perfectly. A customer can use the button to buy, say, 2 large t-shirts. That's 2 units of a single variant. But what they can't do is use that button to buy 2 different variants in one go, like 1 large t-shirt and 1 small t-shirt. For that kind of order, they still have to use the good old Add to Cart button. All right, so after hearing all that, are you ready to give it a try? Awesome. Let's walk through the exact steps you need to take to get these buttons enabled and even customized on your own store. Honestly, turning them on for your product pages is ridiculously easy. You just pop into your Shopify admin, head over to your theme customizer, pick your default product template, find the Buy button setting, and just check the box that says Show Accelerated Checkout Buttons. And you're done. It's that simple.
Let's
But
go
what about
check
making them
convenience
look
and then
right?
click on
You want them
manage.
to match your store's branding,
Now
of
scroll a bit
course.
down till you
And the
find the
answer is
accelerated
yes, you
checkout
can.
right here.
For that
Shop
unbranded Buy
A,
It
let's
Now
enable
button.
it. And
Right
also
in your
for the
theme
wallets,
settings, you have
let's
full
enable
control over the
Apple
colors
Pay
and the fonts,
and
so you can
Google
tweak
Pay.
it to fit perfectly with your site's design. So just to recap the rules here, because this is important, you can customize the unbranded button, change its color, change its font, make it your own. What you can't change is the look of the branded buttons from companies like Apple or PayPal. Their branding is locked, and you also can't manually pick which one of those shows up. The system handles all of that for you automatically. Okay, one last little thing to keep in mind, and this is for after the sale is made. If you ever need to go in and edit an order that was placed using one of these accelerated checkouts, sometimes it can create what looks like a totally new, separate order in your sales reports. It's not a big deal, but it's just something to be aware of when you're digging into your analytics. And that really brings us to the final question. After seeing how all this works, the good, the bad, and the powerful, you have to ask yourself, is the friction in my current checkout process quietly costing me sales every single day? Maybe, just maybe, it's time to accelerate.